Hey there, so the topic I'm profiling is the culture of stance, which in itself is a subculture of the entire automotive scene. So, a little history and background on the culture of stance. Stance originated in Japan over the past 40 or 50 years with the debut of the Nissan Hakasuka. Like I said before, stance originated from Japan in the late 60s, early 70s, and we see a lot of that influence in America today. Also, some influence stemming from countries like Germany and England, the European scene. And we really started seeing the rise in the stance discourse community in the mid to late 2000s, a lot of which is because of the rise in social media. Websites like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr all really helped spread the idea, inspire people to do what countries like Japan and Europe were already doing. Um, for example, what I'm looking right now is canibeat.com, which started in 2008 and is a very, very large website across the world. Also, websites, which can be seen as in my previous slides. Stance Nation, which is regarded as the largest stance website in the world, and it is conveniently operated out of Los Angeles, California. So, some aspects of the scene of stance. For example, right here we have a Lexus LS430. As you can see, sitting very low, very wide wheels and stretched tires. This is actually a category called VIP, which has a lot of larger sedans. A common factor in this subgenre of stance is air suspension and there are many subgenres that stem from the overall stance scene, which can be seen here in the top left corner via canibeat.com. So if we scroll down, we can see some examples of all of these. Some common factors that you'll see here are wide wheels, stretch tires, coilovers or air suspension, which gives the car the ride height that it does. Another aspect of these cars is that they look very dysfunctional, which is true in many cases, but a lot of times they're actually very functional while still seeking out the form that many of these drivers want. As much as the stance scene revolves around cars, it's the people who make this scene flourish and grow. And it's events such as this, which is this event is SEMA. It's held every year in Las Vegas, Nevada, around this time of year. I believe it was held about a week and a half ago. But it's events that bring these people together and they're able to share their passion and bond and compete to build the best car that they can, all while gaining influence from each other and getting to know each other. I know a lot of people who have become very good friends through this culture. A lot of my good friends I've met through this culture and because of it. Later on, I'll have an interview with a very popular person involved in the stance culture here in Albuquerque, and we can have some insight on the community base behind the cars. During my interview, I asked my interviewee 8 different questions, not all of which I will show during this, but one I would like to elaborate over and share is asking him to go deeper into the stance culture and describing the people involved and not just the cars, because it's definitely not just about the cars. As I went over in my previous slide, it is more about the people and the people who make the stance scene what it is. So let's hear what Jesus Sandoval has to say about that.
I might have to say it's pretty obnoxious and ignorant and full of themselves, honestly. It just depends really on the car you drive or your build. Basically, if you have a car that's not so clean or not a nice build, and if you're in that area of all the stance cars, like they pretty much look down on you. They're like, what is this guy driving? Like, really? Did he just do that to his car? But if you have a clean build and you're around other guys with clean builds, like they respect you and you're friends with them, like they're real cool with you because your car is fit to their standard.
I then asked Jesus to share a short anecdote about some problems that he had while driving a stance car, and if he could elaborate on what that looks like and how it looks to other people looking in on the stance culture.
just a couple weeks ago. I was probably in front of UNM, and I was driving over to speed bump over there, and I was labeling, and my front lip just here scrape, just, and there was a whole crowd of students standing on the side, and everyone just full attention on my car, just broken necks, everyone just like